Three. Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Week 7 preview show. Jamie, the now twerking Moynihan, and Ross Berge here with you. We're going to quickly run through the highlights of Week 7 and then give you a Week 7 preview. So in Week 6, Jamie, we had two very close games. Grimsley Bears just barely beating the Friendly Machines, and then Pocono Pawners beating the Halloween Heads by just 3 points.
Yeah, really interesting. Jed sneaking out a victory in the 70s over John Hart. He now moves up in your power rankings, Ross, to number 1.
Yep.
Despite Rag having the same record, and Rag putting up a monster 128 points, but losing to JK, who puts up 140, a season high for him. He's hoping to take that into the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's somewhat ironic that Jed had been putting up like 130, 140 points, and then this week he puts up 78, but somehow jumps up to the top spot in the power rankings. Jedediah, unbelievable that he's at the top over both Brendan and Rag at this point.
Luck of the pawners, what I call it. The luck of the pawners.
Exactly.
Big win for Jed, and he sits in first.
And then also last week we had Thompson Takeover beating Rag 140 to 128. Your thoughts there?
You know, that's a big win for JK, and he needed it. He needed it in a big way. Rag could afford to lose one, but you know those ones sting. When you score 128 points and you don't come out on top, that leads to a lot of Monday night drinking.
That sure does. That was a tough one to swallow. And Rag does a lot of swallowing. All right, looking at Week 7, we have the Friendly Machines facing off against the Halloween Heads. Jimbo, I think I finally get my second win of the season. It's been a 5-game losing streak, but I do think I pull it out this week.
Yeah, I think you have a real good shot in this one. Johnny is starting Nick Foles at his quarterback position.
Yep.
Tough to see Michael Vick go down. He's got D'Angelo Steak and Cheese, who's still looking for that first touchdown. Has not yet happened. You have the upswing of Eddie Lacy starting to occur, which is big for you. I think you're going to win this week. I think the projection's pretty close, too. You should win by a solid 30 points.
Not to mention he's also starting the likes of Nate Washington and Riley Cooper as his wide receiver 1 and 2.
What a racist.
Exactly.
Nate Washington is an Uncle Tom, and he knows it.
Jesus. Okay, next up we have Fighting Frog Swamps versus Masturbation. Brendan now on a 2-game losing streak. Looks to get it back on track against Masturbation. He is projected to do better than Masturbation. Jake now has a completely new team after his trade with me. He's got Kaepernick in there, Garcon, Michael Floyd in the flex spot. Who do you like in this matchup?
Well, is anybody really surprised that Brendan's team is taking a dramatic dip? We knew going into it that everybody on his roster was injury prone, and we're seeing that happen.
Yep.
Ryan Matthews is in and out. Now he's just spent $275 on Rudolph, which is just wonderful for him. Darren McFadden is probably not going to play the rest of the season. So, you know, the injury bug was going to hit him. We knew it was going to happen. Masturbation, though, has been caught with the injury bug, too, losing Murray and then not going after Randall in the auction today.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting there. I'm interested to see what he does in that RB2 spot. Got a lot of questions on that team. Is Daryl Richardson really the guy that's gonna see that through to a victory? I hate to say it. I think that these are two teams that are about to fall pretty quickly. I'm gonna take the Frog Swamps in this one. But if Masturbation can figure out something at that RB2 position, you know, that might swing things around a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's shocking that Jake hasn't had his handcuffs with Lynch or Murray all year. He still has Murray in the starting lineup here. I'm not sure who he's going to plug in. And then on the other side, Fighting Frog Swamps, like you said, the injuries have just killed him. You didn't even mention Amendola, Jimmy Graham, some of these guys might sit out this week. But even despite all those injuries, I'm going to take Fighting Frog Swamps as well.
I'm taking the Frog Swamps, but not for many more games this season, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up, we got WrestleMania taking on the Thompson Takeover. WrestleMania, same old story, been putting up a ton of points, but can't seem to find enough victories. He's 1-5, like I am, but looking to get back on track against the Thompson Takeover. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, WrestleMania, this continues his difficult really career in fantasy football. He faces off against the Thompson Takeover team at the wrong time. JK was struggling early in the season. Noshawn Moreno is like the second coming of Jim Brown or something, for God's sakes. He's been incredible. Sam Bradford actually has been okay in the quarterback position. He's getting a lot from the defense. Kansas City putting up monster points. Lamar Miller's still in that flex spot. Lamar has been a piece of shit all season, and I don't think that he's going to get any better this week. I like WrestleMania in this one because I don't think Noshawn Moreno has 47 touchdowns again. I'm going to go with WrestleMania. I think Lady Luck turns it around, but still not the right time to face the Thompson Takeover.
Yeah, this is a close one. I think it's going to come down to the wire. But just to play devil's advocate here, I think I'm going to go with Thompson Takeover. I think he has a solid team all around, other than his quarterback. Not too impressed by Sam Bradford, but he's got 3 solid running backs and pretty good receivers, and Antonio Brown and Jordy Nelson as well. So I'm going.
You're giving Lamar Miller a lot of credit.
I am giving Lamar Miller a lot of credit. It's always nice to have a running back in the flex spot. So maybe he'll turn it around at some point. All right, next up we have you, Jimbo. A-Town Rat Tails versus the Grimsley Bears. Grimsley Bears have not been putting up a lot of points this year, but they are still 3-3. Jimbo, you've won 2 straight after starting out 0-4. You're looking to go on a 3-game winning streak. What do you think your chances are this week?
I think they're pretty good. Ever since I kind of blew my team up, we've been looking really solid. I like where the team's at right now. I like the mentality that the team has going forward. The morale in the locker room has really picked up. And a lot of that I have to give credit to AJ Green. He's just a happy guy. He and Danny Woodhead get along famously. So that's really worked out for me. I think Harry Douglas is a big pickup in the flex spot now, since there's really nobody else to throw to other than Tony Gonzalez for Matt Ryan. The Grimsley Bears are an interesting team because you don't really know what you're getting out of them from week to week. You got Stephen Ridley, Eric Decker, and Jeffrey, all that are mainstays on the Grimsley Bears, and you never really know what you're going to get out of them. He's got Cutler as the quarterback, who is the definition of you don't know what's going to get, although he has played pretty well over the last couple of weeks. I'm going to take myself in this one because I'm pretty confident just in general. I like Aaron Rodgers against going into Cleveland. I know Cleveland has had a good defense this season, but I think Aaron Rodgers turns things around in a big way, so I'm going to take myself.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you as well, Jimbo. Like you said, AJ Green, just his attitude is so contagious. He's rubbing off on everybody, so I really like your team in this one. And Ridley had a bounce back week last week. I don't think he scores 2 touchdowns again. Eric Decker and Alshon Jeffrey are decent, but shouldn't be in everybody's starting lineup. So I'm taking the Rat Tail.
Wild cards. They're wild cards.
They are.
Really.
Definitely. All right, next up we have
he's a wild card.
The Colonoscopy Kings, who still have not changed their team name, against the Bad Blue Boys. The Bad Blue Boys are 5-1. It's reminiscent of a couple years ago when he sat in a similar position. Projected to score 127 points against BMAC, who's right now projected at 100. He doesn't have a defense in, so that'll help him a little bit. Not that projections are everything, but I do think Albert's team is better equipped to win this game than BMAC. What do you think?
The Bad Blue Boys have really they've been pretty strong from a draft standpoint over the last 3 years. I don't think Al has made a trade in about 2 years.
Nope.
So from a drafting standpoint, he has really been starting his team off on the right foot. I like pretty much his entire roster except for MJD. Picking up in the second round, he feels like he's got to stick with him, which I understand. But it would be nice to get him the fuck off of his roster if that would be at all possible.
Oh, he's trying, believe me.
I can imagine. As far as the Colonoscopy Kings, they've done a lot to try and make moves on their squad, and they picked up a couple of wins here and there. I think the reality is having Ben Tate and Brandon Jacobs as your 1-2 running back, that's going to put you in a hole. We don't know what's going to happen with Gronk. Nobody ever seems to. Right now, He's got the Miami defense that he's about to plug in for playing against Buffalo, which might give him some points. But I'm going to go with the bad Blue Boys on this one. I think Cam Newton has another good game. I think Forte continues to be a powerhouse at the running back position.
All right. And lastly, we have the Pocono Pawners taking on who the fuck is Geno Smith. Let's see. Jed is 5-1. As we mentioned, he's atop the power rankings. Chooch is actually towards the bottom, second to last.
He belongs.
This is a 5-1 versus 1-5 matchup. Can't expect Chooch to win this one, but I think it could be kind of close. But you know what? I think, as I've mentioned every week, I know we've only done a couple shows, but Peyton Manning, too much to handle for Chooch this week. Jed has a solid team all around. Andre Johnson, Victor Cruz, Jason Witten, Torrey Smith is gonna start pouring it on here, I think too. So I'm gonna go with Jedediah in this one.
Yeah, I got to pick Jed, too, in this one. My frenemy is Chuck has tried his best to put together a decent squad. It isn't really working. Trent Richardson has been bad, to say the least. Willis McGahee is right now projected to have 2.9 points, which I think is kind of ridiculous, but it's not a good spot to be as your RB2. Peyton Manning going into Indianapolis, and Irsay's just throwing some gas on the fire over the last couple of days.
Good point.
I wouldn't be surprised if Manning puts up 40 points. So I think frankly the Pawners could have Manning be the only person who plays and still beat Chuck. Chuck doesn't stand a chance this week. He needs to make some moves.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So there you have it. That's the Week 7 preview show. Jimbo, any other thoughts about the league tonight? Anything? We got Red Sox.
Well, tonight we got a big game. We got the Red Sox tonight, so another big game for the fan favorites, those Sox. So go Red Sox, and then this
big
Sunday,
weekend.
I guess
big weekend coming up too.
We'll be. Yeah, exactly. Chuck will get a great chance to watch firsthand as Bilal Powell scores multiple touchdowns against the Patriots, although the Patriots obviously will kick the shit out of them, so it won't matter anymore.
Most definitely.
We'll be too up to know.
There you have it, folks. Good.
All right, bring your insulin.
Good luck
It'll
to
be a big weekend.
All right, take care.